Hi, everyone. This is Kimberly Sellars Bates, or as of yesterday, Dr. Kimberly Sellars Bates. I am the founder and president of KSTB Enterprises out of Atlanta, Georgia. I want to welcome you to Boston. I will come to you each and every week with 10 tips on how to start, maintain, and sustain your business. If you're one of those people who go to work each and every day and sit there and dream about owning your own business or being your own boss, then Boston is for you. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Who is Dr. Kimberly Sellars Bates? I am a native Atlantan. I am from Adamsville in the SWAT. I grew up in Atlanta Public Schools and Fulton County Schools and attended the Alabama State University in Montgomery. I came back to Atlanta, and honestly, with my bachelor's degree, I had no idea what I was supposed to do with my life. Of course, there were things that I enjoyed. Growing up, I wanted to be a teacher, a lawyer, a businesswoman, and sometimes even an entertainer. I could be seen holding a hairbrush in my bedroom and the living room, singing to the sounds of all types of people. My favorite artists growing up were the Emotions, and their hit song Best of My Love was always on my record player. What is that? We'll talk about it sometime later. The Jackson Five, and of course, Prince were among my favorites. But that was a short lived fantasy. I've always been one of those people who like to be out in front. I never ever want to be behind the scenes. So, coming home after college, it was a challenge. What should I do? How should I get a job? Eventually, after working about 3 or 4 different jobs in things such as payroll, let me just tell y'all that if you ever got a paycheck from me from the company that I was working at, I can guarantee you it was wrong because accounting and payroll is not my gift. So I worked in payroll for a while, decided to leave that alone. Somehow, a bank decided that I should come and work for them as a teller. Okay, I didn't care for that because, again, I am not an accountant. There was a position that came available at an HBCU. What is that? Historically Black College and University in Atlanta, Georgia. They decided that they wanted to hire me to do research. That position is one where you find money for the philanthropic needs of the college, money for programs, money for salaries, money for scholarships. I accepted the position even though I had no idea what I was really supposed to be doing or how to go about getting money, but somehow became successful. I worked at this college for a couple of years, and the vice president there saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. She decided that I should start writing grants, that I should actually be out meeting with people, convincing them to support the college. She took me under her wing, and guess what? I loved it. But when I continued to do that for about 6 months, people started hearing that I could actually get money. So people started asking me if I would write grants for them, if I would make them a 501c3 organization, and I did. Pretty soon, I was staying up all night working for these other people who were not giving me a paycheck, but they saw that I had a skill set, so they paid me a little bit of money to find money for them and make sure that they were nonprofit organizations. I did that for about 2 years. I was burning the midnight oil. I was going to work every single day from 9 to 5, then coming home, feeding my children, and deciding that I had so much work to do for these outside people that I would work for them all night. I was getting about 3 to 4 hours of sleep. And after a while, my husband decided that there was no way I could continue burning the midnight oil and going to a full time job. As a result, he convinced me to resign. Now, let me tell you, I'm a very careful person. I'm a very cautious person. I'm a planner. I do not ever want to be broke in life. So, the idea of giving up a salaried position to work for myself scared me to death. You know, my dad was what you call a serial entrepreneur. He had all types of businesses. He owned a record store on Simpson Road. For those of you who don't know where that is, it's in the Bluff in Atlanta. Check it out. He was there for many years. Then he decided he would do something with photo flash. He decided that he would repair radios, he would repair televisions. And when he was 65 years old, he decided that he would build houses. He was a very successful man, but not one who could ever work for others. I never saw myself that way. I always assumed I would have a full-time job and get a paycheck. After all, that's what our parents pretty much instilled in us. Well, my husband continued to badger me, yes, I said badger, about starting my own business. And pretty soon, it started to sound okay because I found that I was making as much money on the side working for myself at night than I was at my full-time job. So I figured that, let's give it a try. So the two of us decided that I would try working for myself for 1 year, just 1 year. We'd see if it worked. If it didn't work, I could go ahead and work again. I could get another job because I definitely had the skill set. I resigned from my position in 2007. This is now 2021, and KSTB Enterprises is doing better than ever. Again, I will not even lie. I was scared. The day that I resigned from my job, I actually had a panic attack going to the car. I said, what did I just do? I just gave up this salary to work for myself. I know nothing about business. Even though my dad had businesses, we never really discussed the intricate details of it. But I started on my way after I left the school, went up to my son's school to pick him up early, and his principal was sitting at the front desk, which was a rarity. But he was sitting there at the front desk, and he pretty much offered me my first contract right then and there. This is how I knew that this is what God had for me, because there was no way that most people leave their jobs and then they're able to get a contract so quickly. So I picked my son up. The principal and I wrote the contract on a legal pad sitting right there at the front desk. He decided that I would get a marquee for the school sitting outside of the school to tell people about the activities that were going on. So again, we wrote the contract on a legal pad. We didn't have a lawyer present or anything. We just decided this is what I would do. I had 2 months to get this marquee. I went to pick my daughter up from tutoring. She was at a math center. I got there and the owners of the math center said, hey, we heard you can write grants. Can you help us get some school buses or some vans to transport the children? So in 2 hours, I had 2 full-time contracts, which would more than pay my salary that I was making at the school. So this is how I got started. There are lots more things I want to tell you, but for now, my time is about up. This is Kimberly Sellars Bates with Boston. I am the founder and president of KSTB Enterprises. When we talk next week, we're going to talk about some of the key reasons for you to work for yourself, as well as we're going to do everything right the first time. We will make sure that we are in compliance with all the agencies, the state, and licensures, whatever we need to do. Again, this is Boston. I will talk to you all next week. Please feel free to contact me with any questions that you have or any topics you'd like for me to discuss. I can be reached at Bates, the letter K, BATES, at KSTBenterprises.com or 770-756-7565. This is Kimberly. Take care. Bye-bye.